Jay here, Stretford, Paddock. This is the Paper Talk. As you can see, we're in the kitchen. I am live, so get involved in the chat and the comments, talking about all the latest Manchester United news and the latest Premier League news as well. We're going to do a little bit of a Premier League roundup. Obviously, I had a run of fixtures yesterday, got some more games today, and United playing tomorrow evening at Molineux against Wolves. So we'll be getting into all the games, getting into all the latest news, and we'll be talking a little bit about Mo Salah's meltdown because it's funny and it's interesting, plus what some of our rivals are doing. Good to see the usual suspects in the chat as always. Real recognises real, Akash K, Gary Gill. Good to see all you people in there. Make sure you are hitting that like button, please, as well. Dial CV85. Shall we talk then a little bit about the Salah meltdown? Because look, you can go, oh, come on, Jay, who cares about the Scousers? As well, it is relevant, isn't it? And it is funny. Because Liverpool drew yesterday 3-0 with Leeds United. They were 2-0 up, the Scousers. Then it was, I think, 2-2. Then they went ahead 3-2. And then in the last minute, or the last 5 minutes, Leeds got an equaliser. So, yet again, the Scousers dropping points, just having an awful run of it. One of the worst title defences ever. And long may it continue. Mo Salah was on the bench again. I think he's been on the bench for the last 3 games, I want to say. He did an interview afterwards. It was in I think it was the mix zone, where he's just sort of got over to the reporters and just let loose, really, let it all out. He's sort of spoke about being thrown under the bus, said that he had a good relationship with the manager, and then all of a sudden, I don't have any relationship. I don't know why, but it seems to me, how I see it, that someone doesn't want me at the club. It seems like the club has thrown me under the bus. That's how I'm feeling. I think it is very clear that someone wanted me to get all of the blame. This club, I will always support it. My kids will always support it. I love the club so much and always will. The situation is not acceptable to me, to be fair. I don't get it. It's like I'm being thrown under the bus. I don't think I'm the problem. I've done so much for this club. I don't have to go every day fighting for my position because I earned it. I'm not bigger than anyone, but I earned my position. It's football. It is what it is. Crikey, that makes the sort of the Cristiano Ronaldo, Piers Morgan interview look like a bit of an MUTV interview. A good bit of good PR compared to that. He's absolutely letting fly there, and he's not a happy bunny. And as you would expect, there's been a lot of pushback from Liverpool fans, some siding with the players, some siding with Arne Slot. It's just funny, innit, to see Liverpool in turmoil. And this does or could have a knock-on effect on United. Now, I wouldn't have said this at the beginning of the season. I thought Liverpool were nailed on for one of those top 4, top 5 spaces that United are probably looking at. Realistically, you're probably aiming for Europa League, but there's no reason why you can't at least try and get into the Champions League spots. I mean, if we win at Molineux, and let's not forget, Wolves haven't won a game all season. Famous last words, Jay. If we win at Molineux, then that puts us on 25 points. That could put us up to 5th, I think. So there's no reason why United can't at least have aspirations to get in the top 5. And if you've got one of those other clubs that are going to be there or thereabouts, having this kind of implosion, then it can only help your cause. Plus, it's the Scousers and we hate him, and it's kind of funny, isn't it? So, all is not well. There's talk of maybe being crisis talks today. Some siding with the manager, like I said, others with Mo Salah. Mo Salah also having a dig at Jamie Carragher. It's going to be interesting to see what he has to say on the matter. I don't think he's commented. Let's have a look, see if he's tweeted anything. Because him and Mo Salah have had a little bit of an up and down relationship, shall we say. No, I don't think he's commented on socials anyway, but I expect him to comment when he's next on the telly. I think he's on Monday Night Football maybe, so he might have something to say about it. But yeah, it's all weird, isn't it, what's going on with Liverpool? I didn't see this one coming. I thought when he went big, loads of people said when he went big in the summer, they're going to be there or thereabouts, bringing in the likes of Florian Wirtz, bringing the likes of Alexander Isak, Milos Kerkez, Jeremy Frimpong. I mean, they proper pushed the boat out, didn't they, with Hugo Ekitike. Some of these players we were linked with, some of these players you probably would have had. And then they've gone out, they spent, 400 odd million, and they've just gone backwards. And some of their players look terrible. Ibrahim Konate looks like he's fell off a cliff. Virgil van Dijk looks shocking as well. And now obviously Mo Salah is not even getting in the team. So they're having all sorts of problems, and long may it continue. Igster 450 says, I don't trust our team against Wolves, but this Scouts meltdown or the Scouts meltdown gives us something to laugh about and take our minds off our own situation. Yeah, I think that's true, isn't it? It's not like, it's almost like a little bit of a reprieve from focusing on our own issues, of which there are many, when you look at what's going on with Liverpool. Now, if you look at the table there, Liverpool in 8th on 23 points, United down to 12th on 22. but obviously we can leapfrog them. So it's very, very tight in that cluster of teams. You go down to Bournemouth, they were 13th. They've got 20 points. They've played a game more than us. And you go up to Chelsea in 4th. They've got 25 points. So just 5 points separating 13th and 4th. So it's very, very tight. No one's really stamping their authority when it comes to these Champions League spaces. Obviously, you look at Arsenal and Liverpool. Arsenal and City. 33, 31 points. Villa on 30 points. Now, that's strong, obviously, that 5-point gap between Villa and Chelsea. However, Villa are having a great run. Big win for them yesterday against Arsenal. Last-minute winner. Buendia with the goal there to give them the win at Villa Park and sort of put a bit of a spanner in the works of Arsenal's title chances. They're still probably favourites. They're still top of the league by 2 points. But a little bit of a wobbly one there. Not great, is it? I think they've only won 2 of the last 5. That's not title-winning form in the Premier League, that is, obviously. So, Villa are right up there. Done a very good job, Unai Emery. They could be vulnerable, though. I think that Villa are the sort of side that 1 or 2 injuries, they might fall off a little bit. Chelsea are just lunatics. You never know what's going to happen there. Everton up to 5th. I mean, no small measure, thanks to the 3 points they got at Old Trafford when they were down 10 men the other week. Sorry, I shouldn't mention it. So, yeah, there's a lot going on there, isn't there? And it's an opportunity for Manchester United. And I saw someone commented the other day, and I said, United should be going for the Champions League. And someone said, well, we just finished 15th. We shouldn't, Champions League's beyond us. I think, why? Why is it beyond us? Why can we not go for the Champions League? If we win tomorrow against bottom Wolves, we'll be in 5th. So why can't we have aspirations of staying there? Is this what it's become where we don't forget Champions League? That's not even an option for us. We just got to focus on the Europa. So United could finish 6th or 7th, but not 5th or 4th. Because a 5th could be Champions League football. Why not? I don't get it. I don't get that mentality. That's what we should be going for as a bare minimum at this football club. I know we've been terrible, but we're still there or thereabouts. Wolves, 2 points all season. We spoke about this on the preview. Go and check the preview out with me and Joe. Wolves have been absolutely terrible. No new manager bounce from Rob Edwards whatsoever. So hopefully we can get 3 points at Molineux and really put ourselves in the mix. Let us know what you think. Get involved in the chat in the comments. Do you think we will win tomorrow? Do you think that we can win? Do you think we should win? What do you think is going to happen? Where do you think United are going to finish this season? What's your sort of hope? It's a twofold question. Where do you expect us to finish? And where do you think it's a realistic target? Real recognises real, so totally agree, Jay. We have an on-paper team, says Tim Collins. I think you could say that about so many teams that are in that mix. Yeah, I like this. Ixter 450 says, I think we can finish top 4 or bottom 4. That's how inconsistent we are. You just don't know which United are going to turn up. The last 2 home games have been terrible. Terrible. It's made me laugh because I saw the clips doing the rounds of Angry Ginger in the jungle, and he obviously doesn't know the United scores, and someone had told him that we'd lost at home to Everton and then we drew with West Ham, and he said he'd rather not have known. You couldn't believe it. And I can't imagine that, finding that out. You think, Jesus, what's going on? I mean, I hope they told him that we did beat Palace. It's not all doom and gloom, but it's not a great moment, is it, for Manchester United? Big running now for Ruben Amorim's men. You're looking at the fixtures. I don't know. You say, well, Jay, you would have looked at the fixtures ahead of the West Ham game or ahead of the Everton game and said these look favourable. But right now, looking at it, you got Wolves away, they're bottom. Bournemouth, 13th, and you've got them at home next week. Then you've got Villa away, very difficult game. There's no sugarcoating it. They're right up there, going to be hard. Boxing Day, you've got Newcastle at home. Again, a difficult game. Our record against Newcastle, especially Eddie Howe's Newcastle, is shocking. But Newcastle at home, they're 11th. They haven't been great this season. They've lost 5 in the Premier League already. Then you've got Wolves again, this time at home. Then you've got 30 Leeds away. There's winnable games there. Unfortunately, someone's mentioned on paper United, look all right, but when it gets to the actual games, we look all over the gaff. We'll have to wait and see, but this is a big moment, this, between now and that Leeds game for Ruben Amorim. I think after the Leeds game, it's Burnley away and then City at home. So, yeah, going up to the Manchester derby there, there's some tricky games, but there's some winnable games. And Manchester United should be picking up more points than we have been doing. We should be right in that mix. This Premier League season is wide open. And it's a shame we've not got our act together properly, because you could be getting involved in a title challenge, but obviously we're not, and I'm not even remotely claiming that. Paddock says, a manager who doesn't believe in our academy is not a Manchester United manager. He has thrown all of our academy graduates out of the team. He's not really feeling the academy, is it? He spoke about this in his press conference after the West Ham game. He was asked about giving Kobbie Mainoo minutes, He said that he picks a team to win. He was asked about the academy. He sort of said that again, he's not going to trust Shea Lacey yet. He doesn't think Kobbie Mainoo is sort of the best option. So, I mean, you can't deny that Ruben Amorim just doesn't value or doesn't think it's a good idea putting the academy players in the team or players coming through the academy at this moment because he's not using them. You may agree with that. You may go, look it. I don't think if you're going to play this system, any of the academy graduates should be in the team. You may disagree. I just think we're making life hard for ourselves. I really do. I think there's a better way of playing for Manchester United than this system that we have and these tactics that we have in this formation. I just don't think it gets the best out of Bruno Fernandes. I'd like to see Kobbie Mainoo in the team. I think we're over-reliant on Casemiro. And I think despite the fact we've got 3 or even 5 defenders on the pitch half the time, we're still leaking loads of goals and not scoring enough. That's just my 2 pence. We'll wait and see what happens, though. What do I know? Interesting one in the Mail. I'll breeze through some of these stories. This little piece by Ian Ladyman. I think it's on Mail Plus, which is their sort of premium service, if you will. Talking about the toxic fallout between United and the class of 92. And it's this piece it's talking about how there's become this sort of rift between them over the hotel football, Giggs feeling a little bit snubbed, why certain players, some of the ex-players don't feel like they're valued, how Paul Scholes isn't always appreciated by some of the current squad because of his comments that he makes when he's a pundit. It's just a really interesting sort of explanation, if you will, deep dive into what has gone on there with Class of 92, because United seems to have this weird relationship with them where they're quite opinionated. They let everyone know when they think United aren't being run properly, or the players aren't performing well, but they are, by and large, legends. You look at most of those Class of 92, not all of them. I think you can argue they're all club legends. So maybe Phil Neville is a rope one, I'm not going to lie to you. So it is a bit of a weird situation that you've got, because if you're paid to be a pundit, if you're someone like Paul Scholes, you can't sit there when United just finished 15th and go, hey, I tell you what, that was a cracking season. That reminds me of my days at playing under Fergie. You've got to be honest, haven't you? Otherwise, you just lose all level of credibility. So I think a lot of the players are unhappy, according to this piece anyway, with some of the comments that Paul Scholes makes. Also, some interesting one there about how Louis van Gaal saw Ryan Giggs as his successor. He thought Ryan Giggs was going to take over for him. Obviously, Jose Mourinho came in and took over from him. So, yeah, just a bit of a funny one. Talking of ex-players as well, this made me feel old. Let me have a look here. I think this was Michael Carrick's son. Let's have a look here. Sorry, I did have it up and I've lost it. So yeah, I think his son, I think he's at JC. JC Carrick followed in his father's footsteps by so many pop-ups by making his Manchester United under-18s debut in a 2-0 victory over Newcastle at Carrington. Yeah, so he's playing for the under-18s. JC Carrick, I hope he's half as good as his dad, and then we'll be laughing. Michael Carrick, an absolute legend. Just makes me feel so old when I see the kids of players that I used to watch playing at any level for Manchester United. I know he's still only a kid. He's only playing for the under-18s and he's 15, but it does make you feel a little bit older. It does make me feel older anyway. But good to see Jason Carrick getting in the team. Hopefully, he'll be one to keep an eye on in the future and have a very, very bright future, and hopefully have a very bright future at Manchester United. Get involved in the chat in the comments. Let us know what you think. PT90 says Unai Emery came in and straight away turned Villa into contenders. Should we be worried about JJ leaving, says Blade X. Yeah, some people have commented about this, about if you're JJ Gabriel and you've got a manager there who doesn't seem to favour the academy, does that concern you? It's early days. Excuse me. Disgusting. It's early days for that, I think. He's still only 15. He can't play this season. He can play next season, I think. So I don't want to get too sort of carried away with it all and be like, right, that's JJ Gabriel's going to go, look, I'm going to leave Manchester United because Ruben Amorim's not playing any academy graduates. I think the club have a very good relationship with JJ Gabriel and his family, and I think they're doing all they can to convince him that his future lies at Manchester United. But we'll have to wait and see. Pepsi Max in the morning, was it Jay? Says Akash K. Sorry, a bit of windy pops there. And I don't know what it was. I've done my drinking water, but I've been for a run if that matters. Sahul back says, do you enjoy watching United like, say, 2010, Jay? No, I don't. This last 18 months to 2 years has been the worst time I've experienced watching Manchester United. Genuinely, I'm not trying to be melodramatic. It just is. Like, obviously, I always say I'm very, very fortunate to. Steve's ringing me. One sec. Let's see what he wants. Hello? I'm just on a live. You're right. Yeah, there's someone in there. I'll ring you back in a minute. Let me wrap this live up. All right, see you in a minute. Bye. Stephen Alson there, give me a ring. It's good to see he's watching. Yeah, so answer to your question, Sahul Sahujibak. So, I don't enjoy it like I used to. This is the worst time I've had watching Manchester United. Finished 15th. Obviously, I've never seen that. I'm very lucky. Not just the fact that I live in Manchester and I'm able to go to the games, which I think is a privilege, which certainly used to be, but also the fact that I'm in an era where I watched my team dominate world football for about 20 years because I was 12 when I started going on. I used to go with my dad when I was a kid, and when I was 12, I started going on my own. That was the beginning of the Premier League era, and United just swept all before us, didn't we? So I used to love going to games, love watching United when I didn't go. And now it's been really difficult. We've had some good moments. We've post-Fergie. Stockholm was amazing. The FA Cup final we beat City was amazing. Other games as well. You look at the 4-3 over Liverpool, one or two others. We have had some real big moments. But it's been tough. The last 18 months in particular, we've been watching pretty poor football, getting battered by a lot of average teams. Yeah, it's been a tough pill to swallow. I'm not going to lie. Saved the season. United a 1-1 against. Sorry, there's a few spelling mistakes there. I don't think it's a case of saving the season, but I think it's a case of putting ourselves right in that mix. If we lose at Molineux, there's going to be a lot of criticism, and people are going to be looking at it going, "What's going on at Manchester United? Is Ruben Amorim's job secure?" If you win and you're in fifth and you're in that mix, then I think we're going to be all right. And I think we can at least give ourselves a puncher's chance of challenging for that top five. I'm going to wrap it up there. MU Intrigue says, Amorim needs sacked. Akash K says, can argue it was really dire when Ralph was interim. It was really dire when Ralph was interim manager. I think the highlight of that was probably the draw in Madrid, maybe against Atletico. But I think, didn't we finish? Where did we finish under Ragnick? Was it? I can't remember. Was it 6th or 7th? I can't remember. God. Kids were going, 6, 7. Colin Wilmot has been a member for 50 months. Can you see Darren Fletcher ever being our manager? Because clearly the club rate him as he's been in numerous other roles. Yes, I can. I think if it doesn't work out with Ruben Amorim, I think Darren Fletcher might end up being caretaker manager. If anything drastic happens this season, I think Ruben Amorim will be all right at the end of the season. But if he's not, I think Darren Fletcher might end up coming in. And I think Darren Fletcher might be viewed as one of those safe pair of hands to come in if anything goes wrong in the future with managers. Like we've had with Ollie came in as a caretaker and obviously got the job. Michael Carrick did it for a little while. Giggs has done it for a few games as well. Darren Fletcher might be in that mode. So I wouldn't be surprised if we do see Darren Fletcher in the dugout one day. I'm going to leave it there. Make sure if you're not doing so already, you are hitting like, share and subscribe. Also, as well, if you check out the merchandise, you can see I've got some on. If you put an order in now, if you live in the UK, you put an order in now, between now and I think Friday, you should still get it in time for Christmas. Abroad, it's probably going to be a little bit more tricky. I'm not going to lie to you. But yeah, try and get that in if you can. Look, we're back tomorrow for the watch along. It's going to be me, it's going to be Joe, it's going to be Ronaldo Brown for a big game at Molineux. And we'll have to wait and see what happens there. But hopefully Manchester United can get a win against the side that have got 2 points all season. I'm Jay Motty. This has been a Paper Talk from a pretty grim sunny Salford. Thanks for watching.